Oh, what's up, y'all? It's me, Erica. Shit. Sorry. What's going on? It's Wednesday. What's today? Wednesday? God, this week's be going by so fast, y'all. Don't they? I'm trying to find this video. I want to watch this video with Trevor Noah. I want to finish watching it. I was watching it this morning. He's so smart. I love the way he expresses himself. He's just really, really, really smart. Trying to think of what happened. Anything's happening that I really want to give my opinion on. About nothing really. I wasn't really into any television last night. I'm trying to think. So we probably don't have anything to talk about today. A lot of rumors about Nene spitting on Kenya. I hope that's not true. And Monique and Candace got into a physical altercation. I hope that's not true. Like, what the fuck is going on with everybody? Do they feel like because I feel like this is what I feel like. I feel like we should be growing, like those women have been in reality TV for 10 years, and are you guys really reverting back to I don't know I just don't know what's going on. Like the older women who have been in the game so I could see like new people, younger generations of people coming on reality television believing that they have to behave a certain way in order to get visibility. You understand? I just don't understand why at these old ass women, I don't know, spitting on somebody, like that is like something you cannot come back from. Like, if I spit on you, that means like you're just the bottom of existence, like the lowest of the low. That is, to me, the highest form of disrespect. It's spitting on somebody, like spitting on someone. Like, I really hope that isn't true, because it just shows like you have a disgust for a person. You're disgusted by that person. You're disgusted. Where did you get? You did all of that shit and you didn't even get anywhere. Stupid. I hate dumb. I cannot stand dumb drivers, y'all. I just cannot stand a dumbass driver. What was that all about? You zooming in and out. You sitting here with me at the damn red light. Dumbass bitch. But yeah, so I hope that rumor isn't true. I didn't even look into it because I just saw B. Scott, posted on Twitter, and I was like, this better not be true. That is disgusting. That's entirely disgusting. Let me turn this alarm off. All right, so we listening to Trevor Noah.
So afraid of him. I'm just, man, you gotta laugh at the guy.
I was watching. Let me let him talk to get to the space where I was on TV. I was at home watching it, and he's been talking about everything. His views. I love to hear him talk, because Trevor Noah just has a real, like, he's able. When you're not from this country but you're a black person, African, whatever, South African, whatever, you see how black people relate to black Americans relate to white Americans, and the systems. You look at it from a whole different perspective, and his views on like politics and all of that, what is this on my glasses? I just think it's so interesting. It's so smart, and he's so smart. I love Trevor Noah. So smart. Let's hear what he's talking about. Oh, what happened? But anyway, so he was talking about religion. He's with just Angela and Charlemagne. they talked about religion. He talked about like the politics and how it's just a two-party system and how it's always going to be there to divide people. If you believe like you could only have two political standpoints, that is actually included in your decision making of your politicians. He said that politics should be more about the team rather than the individual. And a lot of the time, well, the way American politics work is trying to make the individual more relatable so people can relate to them, and it often makes it hard to separate that when you become, when you start to identify with your politician instead of actually just being like, listen, these are the policies I want to hear about, and these are the policies that I care about. Do you support those policies? I don't give a damn about you, who you are, as I just don't care. And I think looking at it that way, I was like, yeah, I think that's an interesting way to look at it, because I feel like a lot of people feel like you can only be either or, even though there are other political parties that you might identify with, but in order for it to be counted, you must identify with one or these two parties. And I feel like it's forced. I feel like it doesn't really give you a choice. That's the reason why I don't like to talk about politics, because I think at the end of the day, it's another scam in this country. Like, they're talking about how people who have college degrees are in debt, and people, the educational system is a scam. It was created to keep a certain group of people, a certain class of people in a certain space. And and what's crazy about it, the system they created to keep other people out, they even cheat at that. That's how mediocre those people are. Like, I was just thinking about, like, goddamn, y'all created these systems and y'all still cheated? Like, you still cheat the system you created. What kind of backwards ass, mediocre ass shit is that? That shit is crazy to me. Anyway, so what else did Trevor Noah talk about? He talked about religion. He talked about how he doesn't like the pastors, how they become what they preach against, which are false idols, and trying to once again get you're instead of the religion, you're more connected to the person. And I've seen people, when I first moved to Georgia, I was at work, and these two black women were talking about each other's pastors, and it was almost like they were talking about their husbands or something. It was so weird. It was so weird to me. And like, we're literally arguing, and then one of the other women were like, you don't talk about a man of God, or like I don't know what it is, but there's some type of idea that you can't talk badly about someone who is a preacher or a minister or a reverend or something like that. You can't talk bad about them. Like, that is bad on you if you talk bad about them. And I remember when Eddie Long got in trouble with those young men, and the like, everybody that worked in the building that I worked in who went to that church, they were like, did not want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. Like so offended, like wanted to avoid conversations about it. Like, I thought, like, the relationship that people have with their pastors, same thing with politics. It's the same thing. Now I'm putting those two together just as I'm talking about it. It's the same thing. It's like, you want to have this connection or this bond. That's the reason. And we do it with actors. That's why we do it with celebrity. I always say we have a very weird, kind of unhealthy way how we relate to or consume celebrity. We all talk about the shit all day long. Anybody who's in the spotlight, we talking about him. We just have a weird relationship. And now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, we do have the same weird relationship with politicians. We have the same weird relationship with religious figures, or people who are supposed to be teaching you religion. It's the same thing. I'm just putting two and two together listening to Trevor Noah.
problem.
The
You know what I mean? It's the same thing that happens in politics in America.
Oh, look.
I don't understand why people support the politician. You should be supporting your policies. You should say, this is what I need done in this country. This is what I want to see happen with.
That's crazy that I was right on that part.
So not a particular political party,
no,
but
you shouldn't care. You shouldn't care if the politician gets taken down, because that's what happens is people get obsessed with the politician, and so it becomes a cult of personality. And now people don't know how to separate the person from the policies. And so if your politician gets taken down, you're like, no, they couldn't have done that. No, I don't accept it. Why? Because you're afraid that means now your policies have been undermined. Whereas if you have always said, I support these policies, and I don't support, in fact, in America, I feel like people should swap the way they treat sports with the way they treat politics. I feel like people treat sports in a really healthy manner. In sports, they go, this is my team, this is what we're about. If there's players who are doing some crazy shit that they don't agree with, they're not playing well, they're not, not passing the ball, not scoring, what do they say?
Fuck him.
Kick him out of the team.
That's right.
We need to kick that coach out, kick that player out. That's not what this team is about.
Yes.
But then with politics, people are like, no, we're just gonna keep him. We're just, you know what I mean?
But that's the problem with America now, right? Because
So, what do y'all think about that? I'm trying to get to the part that I was on about religion. He's talking about everything. I see.
If you only had two sports teams, people would kill each other. Whereas now you can team up. You can be like, yo, who are you? Celtics? Who are you? Heat? All right, we both hate the Lakers.
That's it.
The idea that there are only two ideas. How about you got what? Two political parties only?
There's others, but I feel like
no, but I mean, but it's not real.
But they're not going to really ever
real.
win
It's going to create a system where you continuously go, what are you? I'm a Republican. I'm a Democrat. It's over. You don't go anywhere from there.
Nowhere. That's why I was like, that's why I say that nothing will ever change in this country, because the actual system that was created to run the country is not being deconstructed in any way. It's been amended a few times, but you need to break the shit down, because in the original shit, we African, indigenous, whoever the hell, were not included in that. You were never supposed to be where we are today in this creation of this Constitution. So that has to be deconstructed, and stuff needs to change from that. The very fact that I always go back to the qualifications it takes to run this country. Number one, for one person to run this entire country is too big. It's too big. It should actually be split. That should be split into quarters, I believe. But whatever. It's too big. It's just too big. And I forgot my train of thought. I do. I really believe that this country is too big for one person to run. But back to deconstructing the Constitution. The what it takes to become the president of the United States. It leaves too much room for something like what is happening now happen. And the crazy part of it is, as much involvement as the United States has with putting political figures in place in other countries, and those people wind up destroying the country with the help of the United States government, and then you turn around and do the same exact thing in this country, it just seems very intentional. It seems very intentional. And that's just how I see it. I just see it like that. Okay, let me go.
The reason I say that, like, you're from South Africa, so your view of American politics.
So I only know what I know. I've only been taught what I've been taught. My idea.
Be fanatical over religion and over politics.
Right.
So have you gotten any crazy, like, death threats of people coming at you? Or
we get them.
Yeah,
like,
it doesn't mean I'm gonna love them.
Malcolm X said, if you don't
to take action?
Or? No. I've been really lucky. Look, here's the thing as well. Like I grew up in a world where, like, violence and death weren't.
I'm trying to see where he was talking about the N-word.
Has the power. It's the power that comes with the word.
Here it is, right here.
I don't agree with the idea of saying you should ban the word or get rid of the word, or I don't think you can. I'll tell you why. Because I don't think the word itself has the power. It's the power that comes with the word that's associated to the word. Does that make sense? So what the N-word represents, especially in America, is a system of oppression and what happened to black people in the country. But when you travel to other countries, they have other words for what they did to black people as well. And so in South Africa, the N-word doesn't mean anything in the same way, but we have the word kafir or kafir, and it came from the Arabic kafir, which means one who does not believe in Allah. And so what happened is during the spice trade, like the Muslim traders landed in South Africa, and they met like the Zulus and the British, because it was like it was a colonized space. And they were like, yo, do you guys believe in Allah? And they were like, no, we got another dude. We got a contract with him. And they were like, all right, kafir, all of you, kafirs, which means non-believer. And then the white people were like, oh, they're talking to you guys. They were like, yeah, all the black people, you're the kafirs. And then that became the word. But on our side, no one made it cool. No one like owned it. No one. So the word has basically just died.
Rappers don't own it in their youth and their music.
Because we didn't have rap. Maybe that's what it is. We didn't have rap.
Yeah.
Have you gone to a Kanye Sunday service yet?
No, I haven't.
Are you interested in that? What do you think of it?
That's being turned into gospel. And I just think
let
of
me
this,
see. Hold on.
Oh, they're talking to you guys.
Let me see what he said.
Sorry,
guys. I told you I didn't have nothing to talk about.
Have you ever been to South Africa?
Yeah, I was with you. I saw you.
Oh yes, of course.
Oh yes, he says, oh yes, of course.
Forget where we are in the world.
Oh yes, of
I
course.
forget where we are in the world. Sorry, I hope you went to Soweto.
That reminds me of coming to America. Oh yes, of course. Anyway, so what are we talking about, y'all? So we're talking about Trevor Noah. So yeah, I got distracted. So what's going on? Yeah, I need to. Today, full moon. Moon is going into Scorpio. Sun is going into Scorpio. Moon is going into Virgo. So funny. Scorpios. Shout out to the Scorpios. Yes, I'm talking about you with y'all paranoid asses. Y'all be so paranoid.
Did what you're saying.
There's always a scam going on. Somebody's always a suspect. Someone is always a suspect.
I'm gonna build a nice house, and I'm gonna build a nice house, and I'm gonna build a nice. And I do.
Oh, he's talking about rebuilding in your community, not leaving your community, and actually rebuilding.
I gotta get out of the hood, and I get why. I get why you sometimes even need to do that. But there's also something about beautiful saying, no, I'm gonna get the hood out of here.
Yeah. Or transform your neighborhood by
that's what he just said, Charlemagne.
Yeah,
Shut up.
block,
That's what he just said.
Which I think is something that's happening now. But I do get
it growth where like the
people who were working.
And that's what it was. It was like when you were there. But if you didn't.
I did go to Soweto
right.
when I went.
Soweto is a township in South Africa. Fundamentally one of the biggest hoods in the world. That's what it was created as.
Right.
It was designed by the apartheid government to be destroyed as quickly as possible should the black people rise up.
They just wanted people who were working.
And that's what it was. It was like, how do we get black people to live in a space that's close enough to the city that they can come work, but not so close that they can just walk here and visit us when we don't want them to. That community has continued to become a bastion of like growth, where like the first black owned mall in South Africa built and owned was in Soweto. Like you look at how houses have, like, people did what you're saying. One dude became rich and he was like, I'm not leaving, I'm gonna build a nice house here.
And that's what we need.
And then another person was like, well then I'm gonna build a nice house, and I'm gonna build a nice house, and I'm gonna build a nice. And I do think there's something inspiring about that. There's something inspiring about going, man, everyone goes, I gotta get out of the hood, and I get why you sometimes even need to do that. But there's also something about beautiful saying, no, I'm gonna get the hood out of here.
Yeah. Fucking love that shit.
Or transform your neighborhood by
I love that shit.
Yeah, block by block, block by block.
I love it.
Something that's happening now. But I do.
It is slowly happening.
Yeah.
It really is slowly
He's so
happening.
smart.
And that's something that
I love his perspective on things.
When people do that.
Love his perspective on things. Trevor Noah's a smarty pants. We love a smarty pants.
Let's take the money.
What sign is Trevor Noah? Let's see what sign he is. Trevor Noah. South African. February 20th. What is that? Aquarius. Is it an Aquarius? I don't know my astrological signs. Pisces. It depends on, because you know what, that's always weird, because since February is so short, the way the signs change in February, it's like it's not really, it's like it's earlier than the normal 22nd, 23rd. You know what I mean? Y'all know what I mean? I'm not going to follow that. And there's always in every, idea, even in mathematics. You know how many schools of thought are in mathematics? Why wouldn't there be several schools of thought in astrology or astronomy or cosmology? You know what I mean? Somebody who discovers different things, and then there's some people who are like, no, I'm going to stick to the old way, the old school way. And there's some people who are like, no, I'm going to adapt to the new school of thought, or use both as I see fit, or as it supports my whatever. I wish I could get over. Oh my God. You guys are doing the most. So, what do y'all think? Do y'all follow both schools of thought, or do you just stay with one school of thought? Like, I'm old school. I just don't like, no offense, but it makes me a Leo, and oh God, no. It was funny the other day because I was, somebody asked me when my birthday is, and I was like, oh, it's 8/24, and it was like, oh, you're a Leo? I was like, no, bitch, don't get it twisted. Shout out to my Leos. If you follow the school of thought for cuspids, I would be considered a cuspid, baby. I don't claim that side. I'm mixed, and I don't claim that side. Nah, that's what it is. I was like, no, try again. Never. There's this one chick that gets on my nerves. She's a Pisces. She gets on my nerves so bad, like so bad, and it's like, girl, shut up. She's one of those girls, one of those divas that feels like she has to talk all the time, or like contribute to conversation, and it just be like very odd, like very awkward the way she jumps in the conversation. She's very confident when she does, but then everybody's looking like, okay, girl, shut up. Like yesterday, she's sitting in front of me. I'm in the back so I can see their screens, and she's in the first row so she can raise her hand 6,000 times. I'm like, girl, your participation points are done for the day. Always that kind of shit just drives me crazy. One of those people who has to talk so that they can hear themselves, that they know what they're talking about. You know what I'm talking about? Those kind of people. And she's those kind of people. Like, girl, shut the fuck up. That's why I be wanting to tell her, shut up. But so she looks back. I don't know what made her look back, but I had put something in my mouth, and she was like, Erica, what you eating? And I was like this. I looked at her for so long. I looked at her for so long. The whole class was looking at me like, is she gonna answer? Woo! Because I was trying not to say something smart. I was trying not to say. I was trying not to say something smart. That's why I had to just like, I'm just gonna look at you because I'm getting ready to say something smart to you. Bitch, who gives a fuck what I'm eating? Don't worry about what I'm eating. We don't even have a relationship like that for you to even ask me, what am I eating? Like, girl, don't. What are you talking about? It's just so awkward. So awkward. And always raising her hand. She wants to prove to herself that she knows. Like, they had put her on task to do something, and she's another one. She's another one who needs constant, like, she needs reinforcement. She's someone who knows the answer, but then acts like she doesn't know the answer. Well, I think it's, girl, you know the fucking answer. Stop playing that game. Like, that shit is dumb to me. It's just, it's annoying. It's so annoying. You're driving too fast. Sorry, taxi. Where are you going? You have nowhere to go, taxi. Sorry, pull over. Anyways, yeah, and so, yeah, she's one of those people. It's just like, she says things like, and it's not even out of turn, it's just awkward. It's like, what are you talking about? See, I'm supposed to be watching Trevor Noah. I was wondering why I couldn't hear his voice. Trevor Noah. I'm supposed to be watching that, y'all. Shit. But yeah, she gets on my nerves, and then like when I realized when I first met her, she immediately irked my spirit. Like immediately, I was like, oh God, I didn't even really know her. Like I didn't know her. She just really just bothered me. And then her behavior started coming out, and I was like, oh, okay, this is why I don't like you. Where are you going? Why are y'all driving so fast? I don't want to be. Why are you driving so fast? Child, it's not that serious. I'm looking like, why? Why is he driving so fast? I need to get over. That's what I do need to do.
And that's what I'm always trying to do on my side is go like, yes, fight for the thing, but remember there's stuff that I can be doing for myself.
Oh yeah, come on. This is good. This is good.
Like we're second-class citizens in any way, shape, or form. So you should be fighting to receive what you deserve from your. Two things are happening at the same time. My mother always says this.
Listen to what he said. Trevor knows so
really
smart.
Is slowly happening, and that.
Oh, come on. What are y'all doing?
I get why you sometimes even need to do
Okay,
that.
listen.
But there's also something about beautiful saying, no, I'm going to get the hood out of here.
Yeah. Or transform your neighborhood with your resources.
Right? That's just what he said, Charlamagne, shut up.
Which I think is something that's happening now. But I do.
It is slowly happening.
Yeah.
It really is slowly happening, and that's something that I appreciated when people do that. You know, it's just finding a way to infuse resources into their community and go like, no, let's take the money and put it back in. Let's put it back in. Let's put it back in. Let's build ourselves up as well. Because two things are happening at the same time. My mother always says this to me. She goes, while you are fighting to receive what you deserve from your government or from your world, you also need to be fighting to give it to yourself. Right. Two things are happening at the same time. I think as the black community, yes, we should always be fighting for equality and equal access to resources because we are taxpayers. You get what I'm saying? It's not like we're second-class citizens in any way, shape, or form. So you should be fighting for things that you deserve. But at the same time, we must remember to fight to give it to ourselves.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You've got two different spaces where it's like, yeah, you've also got a bit of personal responsibility. There's no one thing that exists in isolation.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm always trying to do on my side is go like, yes, fight for the thing, but remember there's stuff that I can be doing for myself as well.
What could you apply from your
So smart. So smart, Trevor. Trevor Noah. Lupita Nyong'o is gonna play his mother in the movie about his life. I can't wait.
I feel happened in America, you know, because of the slave trade is it wasn't just people that were stolen from Africa. It wasn't just lives that were stolen from Africa. The more I read about it, the more I understand that fundamentally they stole one of the most valuable things you can steal from a person, and that is the knowledge of your culture. The knowledge of who you are a part of just because you are. And that's such a beautiful, powerful thing to have as a human being. It's just to be like, yeah, this is who I am and this is what I do. And it's like it's my team. Right. It's my team, whether I like it or not, whether they like me or not, they're always gonna be my team. And so one thing I've always admired about black Americans, and this is something that I feel has traversed the globe, is black Americans created a culture unto themselves.
Ooh, come on
which
with
is
it.
Beautiful, you know, hip hop and style of language and dressing and everything, and that became a culture.
Come on with it.
But I feel like over time there are a few negative aspects of black culture that have moved forward that don't need to move forward.
I agree.
You know, so like I don't think we need to celebrate ignorance. I genuinely don't. I don't think we need to shun people who are ignorant because we understand how ignorance comes to be. It is something that is
so
taught
smart.
or not taught, and that is why the person.
Celebrate
Yeah, but I'm like, sometimes
love that shit.
we make it seem like it's just like, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, man, you're like, hey, what do you do with your money? You're gonna invest? Man, I don't invest. What I look like, a white man?
Right.
And it's like, no, but that's the trick. That's the trick.
Right.
It's just like, investing is not a white man's thing.
Or you say you're doing something like, oh, you must be rich. Oh, you got money.
Exactly,
okay, I see you.
Exactly. You're doing those white people things now.
Right.
You're
This
doing
nigga
like,
going to the
no.
dentist and shit.
Exactly. You see? Now we're gonna make it like crooked teeth is a black thing now. But you get what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. I don't want to work. So we do that in South Africa as well. Like, but luckily we still have culture. But like, I remember a time when I
Luckily, we still have culture.
I remember
Oof.
I bought my first
We have
really
culture.
nice BMW, and I pull into the gas station, and the guy pouring the gas comes up to the car, and he's like, "Shom lungu, what's in labo?" Which means like, "Hey, the white man, what's going on?" And he sees I'm not white. He knows it, but it's like a term of like, you'd say it to another black person, like, "You made it, man. You got that white man money.
Yeah, I don't like how
You got that
that's
white man
crazy.
success."
Right.
And then I used to think it was cool, and then I realized I was like, no.
He's telling the truth, though.
The idea that success is inherently white.
Yeah,
He's telling the truth.
superior.
Exactly, that you go, as a black person, you have now aspired to whiteness as opposed to aspiring to success. And then you go like, no, we can be successful. Whether you're black, whether you're Latino, whether you're Asian, whether you're Indian, whether you're whatever. It's like, yes, we have lived in a time where historically white people have been kicking ass for a long time. So everyone thinks that that is the color of success, but it's not true. Success
not true.
is success, and we need to strive.
Stop lying. Stop telling these lies.
We need to shun people who do ignorant things, but we do have to educate people.
Yeah.
Because we see that happening all the time.
No, I honestly don't have time.
And you see Angela, how she's in.
I try my utmost to live in a world
She
where I
don't.
go like,
I don't know. She interviews more so just adds her. You know, I don't know what she be
I know
doing,
that you
child.
grew up in a world where you were given.
But do you engage and try to educate?
Yeah, always.
So I think he talks about cancel culture. That's where I left off. I think that's what's coming up.
Here's what I don't
here
like
it
about
is.
cancel culture.
Here it is.
I don't like that there are no terms. I don't like that cancel culture does not come with any specified type of punitive, like rules or ideas. So a lot of the people who participate in cancel culture are the same people who are for prison reform, and I know the two are not the exact same thing, but it operates in the same space of as society. What do we hope to do with people who have wronged us?
Right.
Do we wish to banish them to the outskirts of civilization, or do we wish to educate them, inform them, punish them when necessary, and then rehabilitate them and have them come back into society? So if somebody says something trash online, right? And a lot of I would say like 9 out of 10 people, they're not trying to say something trash. They're not trying to be they're not trying. A lot of the time people are not trying. And then people come in and they go, you need to be canceled, you're trash, that's what you cancel. I'm like, what does canceled mean? My problem with canceled is, inherently what it means is you are now ousted from our society.
That's some white
I always
shit.
ask the question as I go, like, where do you think those people go? We're creating a community of canceled people who have no option other than to be canceled with each other. And those people are not going to be, they have no vested interest.
Although I feel like
In now
usually
becoming
it's
so
very
smart.
temporary.
No, but I don't think it is in many ways.
That neighborhood would be fire though.
Yeah,
Cancel
well,
it
cancel people.
cancel parties would be
I've seen
fine.
people get canceled and then things are back to normal.
Well, there's
2
always,
days
yeah, but there's
later,
varying
and
degrees of
they-
being canceled.
Is what?
There's varying
Yeah.
degrees. I agree with you. Some of it is superficial. People are canceled and then they just carry on the next day.
Right.
But I do think it would be nice to say like, hey, how do we engage with this person?
That was somebody was talking about how somebody was
All right.
talking about Russell
How do we-
Simmons this morning and how no one's really saying anything about how Russell Simmons sold his businesses and moved to Bali. Well, isn't that what y'all wanted him to do? Like, he's done things against women, which I believe totally. I'm sorry, but I believe every single person, every single woman or man who has said Russell Simmons has said something inappropriate to them or done something inappropriate to them or have sexually, I believe them. I don't care. And y'all know how I feel about Russell Simmons. I don't care. I believe it. I believe it. I just believe it. I just believe it. Too many patterns of behavior. First of all, who starts dating a 17-year-old Kimura? It was 17 years old. That was an old ass man dating that girl and nobody said anything. That was wrong in its fucking self. In itself. Here, her walking down the runway with him and then they ended up dating and stuff. She was 17 years old. Talking about, I don't know. But I believe. So when look at all the turkeys. When somebody says, well, nobody's talking about him moving to Bali and selling all his stuff, isn't that the point of canceling the motherfucker? Get out of here. We don't want you around here. Okay, so he needs to go to jail. He's not going to avoid legal ramifications of what he's done. He's left. That's what I used to say about Bill Cosby. Like, nigga, you talk too much. You need to leave. O.J. Simpson, you needed to leave. You needed to get the fuck out of this country and go somewhere and live the rest of your life. But no, you got away with murder and you're so cocky and so arrogant that you decided to stay in the country and then get in trouble and go to jail for stealing your own shit back. You are stupid as fuck, my nigga. It's dumb. You should have left a long time ago. Should have been in another country. You got away with killing a white woman and a white man. And you still here. But nigga, if you don't get your ass up out of here, and then when I look to black people to be like, we love OJ. That shit was crazy. I was so young then, you know, with the OJ Simpson situation. Anyways, I'm here, y'all. I'm putting on my shoes. Anyways, I don't know what we talked about. You know, this video was infused for your pleasure, and we're gonna see what's going on. I'm gonna finish watching Trevor Noah. I guess you can pick out what you want to talk about, what we talked about on the way here, because I don't have a clue what I said. I know what did we talk about? We talked about Trevor Noah. We talked about politics, two-party. Talked about community. We talked about a little dose of little zodiac talk. Not really much. What else? Cancel culture. That's it. I don't know. Y'all have a wonderful day. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. Keep each other honest. And let's get down in the comments and finish having our ADD conversation. Ciao. Bye. Bye.